It is estimated that the match-fixing syndicate is suspected of paying out hundreds of thousands of dollars to fix low-level matches every year. The BBC described tennis as a sport riddled with corruption. The lower-level ITF tournaments is where all the thousands of lower-ranked players try to make ends meet, and they are vulnerable to these match-fixing schemes. Even a high-profile tennis player like Novak Djokovic was offered $250,000 to lose a match. Of course, he declined the offer and reported this to the authorities. It is mandatory for a tennis player to report to the Tennis Integrity Unit if they've been approached to take part in match fixing. It was in 2013 when one of Egypt's rising stars, Karim Hossam, was approached by a fellow tennis player he didn't know too well, an offer that was financially rewarding but dangerous at the same time. Hossam, who was one of the best junior tennis players in the world before his official ATP career started, was offered $1,000 to purposely lose a match, and he reluctantly agreed to do so. After the match, he was taken to a Western Union branch and collected his $1,000 cash exchange. The gamblers behind this scheme made much more than $1,000. Karim Hossam wanted money desperately to pay for expenses and advance his career. He said, "I wanted to go play big tournaments, like I was going to the US for camp or whatever, and I needed money." Fred Lord, director of the Anti-Corruption Unit at the International Center of Sports Security in Qatar, says, having that insider knowledge of people involved in match fixing in a specific sport, particularly tennis, you can really make some fairly decent money. We're talking figures around about €500,000. What Karim Hossam didn't know is that he potentially sold his whole tennis career for a mere $1,000. If found guilty of a single offense of match fixing by the tennis authorities, it can be punishable by a lifetime ban from the sport. However, Hossam needed money desperately to pay for his expenses, so he continued to intentionally lose his matches. He soon became a fixer himself and the middleman between gamblers and other players themselves. In order to take part in a fixed match, a player had to either lose a single set or even the whole match, depending on what gives the best odds for gamblers. Hossam spent a total of 4 years in assisting fixing matches in lower-level ITF tournaments in Nigeria, Tunisia, and Egypt. He earned an average of $200 for a match fix, which gave $1,000 profit to the fixers. His main method of communication to other players was through Facebook messaging. Classified documents obtained by the Tennis Integrity Unit revealed Hossam had messaged numerous North African players via Facebook Messenger. One example reads, "Bro, you lose the first set, then win the match. You get 2,500. Score is not important. I just need to lose the first set. Most important thing is you drop the first set, then win. Hopefully it's okay, because I need the money." Here's another example of his match-fixing setups. One set for 3,000. Intrigued by the offer, the player replies, "How much to lose?" And he is told, "Lose for 3,000, my friend." The classified documents also revealed that more than 20 tennis players were messaged. As mentioned before, any tennis player failing to alert the authorities if they've been approached to assist in match fixing may face a lengthy ban. It wasn't until June 2017 in which the Tennis Integrity Unit were able to catch Hossam. He says to them, "I just couldn't afford playing anymore, and my dad was paying for me, and then my dad has to pay for my brother as well. And then I wasn't getting any income." Hossam was hoping that he would get off the hook if he helped authorities with the investigation of the big fish of match fixers. He was given a provisional ban from the professional tennis circuit and even admitted, "I'm gonna bet even more now." Investigators really wanted to know who was that tennis player that first approached Hossam and got him involved in match fixing in the first place back in 2013. Investigators told Hossam that that player was a danger because he grooms young players. If it wasn't for him, you may never be where you are today. Despite Hossam cooperating with authorities and providing as much information as possible in his involvement in match fixing, he was given an indefinite lifetime ban from tennis in July 2018. In spite of his ban, Hossam continued his involvement in the corruption ring as a fixer of the sport. In August of 2018, he tried to entice a player to lose a set by a distinct score by offering him $3,500. This is known as the player alerted the authorities of the deal. In one of the largest match-fixing corruption cases ever, Spanish police arrested 15 people who were a part of a match-fixing ring that involved 28 Spanish tennis players. This match-fixing case was linked to an Armenian gang. The documents covering this incident revealed that one of Hossam's contacts was part of the Armenian gang. These are just a handful of tennis players and corrupt gamblers that have been caught by the Tennis Integrity Unit. As betting in tennis is becoming more and more popular, more tennis players are being approached by other players and even gang organizations to take part in match fixing. In Hossam's and many other players' cases who are scraping by in lower level ITF tournaments, succumbing to match fixing may be a financial reward, but is the consequence of never being able to return to the sport they love and been training for their whole lives worth it? Hossam is currently coaching tennis to young children.